Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Comics News Today, September 16th, 2019, and I am your host, Justice C. Busby III. Very happy to have you guys here. Do apologize, and we told you about it, but we do apologize for not having TFT. But I was up in the city for a long time, and I had a lot of fun. Actually, I was sitting here just telling the guys that I didn't even touch the internet or any kind of SNS stuff for literally 2 days. How wonderful is that? But we are back, and the first thing I want to say before, well, I guess first thing I have to say is check out all our links, yada yada yada. We're really happy about all that. Subscriptions, we got several. Thank you very much for that. Likes, awesome. We had a lot of those as well, and of course, the one thing we always talk about is sharing because sharing is caring. We are live streamers, and therefore we'd
That's
love.
how I got AIDS.
Yes, I know, Booster. I know, but happy with
Don't
all
hit
that. But the other
and
thing I
don't
really.
forget to hit the bell.
Oh yeah, and don't hit that bell or hit that bell. Yeah, punch bells. That's what you're supposed
Punch
to do.
bells.
Punch bells.
Punch the
But
bells.
Never forget to flick the bell. I've
yes,
learned that.
yes.
Hmm.
But the one thing I want to say before we jump into today's news and all the stuff we're going to do is just to thank everyone. We had ourselves a bit of a rant show on the past on the Fanspeak show. And we got some stuff off our chest that we were pretty frustrated about it. We didn't go too far, but we certainly brought up the point of where's our comics type of thing, and we've got nothing but love from you guys. I haven't got a single negative comment from it actually, which I'm surprised. But it just thank you guys. You're awesome. All of your support and all of your agreement, and it seems we're all kind of thinking the same thing. So thank you guys very, very much for
Can,
all that communication.
can I rant because I wasn't here? Can I do that?
No, it's over. You had your time. It's gone. No more ranting. I'm sick of ranting.
All right.
This is a happy time.
Okay,
All right.
good.
All right.
All right.
Relax.
Booster's upset. Zach Bradley says, just got through listening to that. Yeah, no, and we've gotten a lot of great support from everybody, and you guys are awesome. And it really seems we touched a nerve because I was getting personal stories, and I just so much stuff. We even got a few responses from some people I didn't expect to hear from, that who wish not to be named, but who 100% in support of the concept. And so you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. We are back to our normal show today. As you guys know, our main thing here is to support indie creators. That's what we do. And that's what we're going to continue doing. I know that the doing ranting and complaining and all drama stuff makes for a more interesting show, I guess. It certainly gives you a lot more sports. You get a lot of subs. You get a lot of kind of stuff, but that's not really what we do. But thank you guys. You're awesome. But nevertheless, let's come over here and say hello to Todd. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Really good. We got our boy Joe back, who was moved into the other side of the mountain, away from Denver to somewhere else. I forget which town, but anyway, he's back. So we had a light week last week with Anycom TV, and with you doing your gig, which I hope that went really well.
It did.
It's too bad none of us get to see you do that kind of stuff because I'd love to see it. But this should be a much better week. We already have a video that's already it's already on the channel. It's watchable, but I don't share them out until I can embed them. And I didn't realize this, but you can't embed a video right away. There's actually a site that'll tell you when it's ready.
Oh yeah, no, sure. It's a whole YouTube process thing, but it's all good though.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
no, thank you very much. We did have a great show, a lot of fun, and I don't share much of that
Is it
because
filmed? Did anyone film it?
I'm sure someone probably did. But you got to keep in mind we're just a bunch of retired pros, man. We're it's just a lounge act. We're out there having fun in the live houses. We do a few festivals too, but mainly it's just the live house stuff. And this weekend was more of a festival.
Did Junko go? Like, she
Sure.
go with you?
Oh, of course she did. It was a huge festival, man.
Man, I should have snuck her a note to film you for us, so we could have threw it up here for you.
Oh, we killed it though, and the cool thing about it is the event creator, and he's kind of like the boss of the music scene in the prefecture I live in, I guess you could say. And he often gets up on stage and plays with us because the real weak point in the band is my vocals. And over the years, I've worked really hard, and it's very passable. It's fun, but that's the weak point. My sax is no problem. It's tight. It's the same pro level as those guys, but they're so high level. They're so good that all the great musicians, guitarists, bass drummers, stuff like that, who come along, they want to sit in with us, right? So
Do
I'm
you
incredibly
do you
lucky.
make up when sometimes when somebody's vocals are weak, they make up for it with engagement, with the
That's
crowd,
sure. That's
with
right.
the energy, with the fun, and you
Yeah.
can get away with that. Is that something you do too?
I've done that for a long time, and
Yeah.
I do make them laugh, and which is shows you the level of my where my Japanese has gotten to, because I can actually keep a room laughing in Japanese. But that I've been doing that for quite a while. But I would say my vocals have gotten to the point now that it's completely acceptable. Though it took a long time. It took because I'm not a vocalist, right? I'm a saxophone player, and what happened was. I was up there doing a gig, some big festival in Japan, and I had like a jazz band, no vocals, right? And I had it was an all-star band, just killer musicians, and we were up there cranking this festival. And Dave Matthews was at the festival, right? So I went up and I was talking to Dave backstage, and of course, have a chance to talk to such a successful guy. I asked him, so what do you think of the band? He says it's really good. You need a better piano player and you need a singer. So I was like, okay, Mr. Matthews. So I I tried to find a singer and I couldn't find one because it's only going to be in Japanese and stuff. So I just started singing myself, dude. And it's taken me a long time to get that technique built up where it's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's solid.
Right.
So, but we had a lot of fun. We love getting playing at those gigs. We definitely light the people up. I had Japanese standing and dancing, dude. You know how hard that is to do?
Wow.
I think your voice is beautiful, Chester.
Well, thank you very much. Like I'd have to argue yours is better, but you know, but
His is okay when he's not being a prick.
yeah, well,
Hey!
but thanks for asking though, Todd. But like I said, we're just like a semi-pro thing. It's not so serious. But I love it, and we love it, and we had a lot of fun. And thank you guys for bearing with us for me not doing the show because of that big event. But we only do 2 to 4, depending on the year, of those big festival things. And this one was important because we were voted as the representative for our prefecture. So it was a big event. It was important to us, and we had a lot of fun. So thank you. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about comics. And I got a bunch of people jumped in. I have Zach who came in, but once again, his icon sucks. And he's showing me nothing but this like red thing. God, Zach, you suck.
I know, I'm sorry, but I don't know what happened. Ever since I installed this new webcam, like my icon for Google never shows up unless I go through like some weird thing with the webcam and uninstall the actual program. Because right now what it's trying to do is it's trying to use the actual program to represent my icon instead of what Google gives me. And I'm like,
Is it an add-on to your browser?
I think it is. He's probably got two
Yeah,
cameras
probably.
that are
You can
conflicting with each other. Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
shut it off, just like you can shut off ad blocker for a little bit. You can shut it off. Because when you first came in here, the very first second you showed up, your avatar.
Well, I was just gonna like turn on the webcam and just kind of do some traditional stuff while you guys talked. So.
Oh no, that's cool, dude. I'm just joking with you. You know that.
Yeah, no.
Roger.
I know you're a jerk. Yeah.
Yes, I
but
am.
no. Okay, just real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. I just want to say, Chester, I'm proud of you.
Thank
because
you.
that spiel was exactly what I've been thinking this whole entire time. And that's the last thing I'm going to say on that.
Well, thank you. A lot of people have said that to me. I seem to have emoted a general consensus feeling.
A lot of people too afraid to say something because they know what the results are. It's getting dogpiled.
Yeah, well, you know what? We haven't been dogpiled though, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, and
don't encourage it.
Yeah, don't encourage it. But Zach, thank you coming on. Very happy to have you here. And we got ourselves a Slick Jimmy too. What's up, Slick?
Oh, I'm just hanging out, listening to your beautiful mellifluous voice.
Oh boy.
Oh man, this could get intense.
I know.
Right here.
I'm gonna
two
swoon.
beautiful sounding men complimenting each other. No, your voice is more beautiful. No, your voice is more beautiful.
I mean, all we need is Barry White to come in and be like, and and just bring down the house.
Oh,
You
we
two will
just
have
no.
beautiful voiced babies.
We bow to the Barry White, dude.
I do. Barry White is. I can't even come close to that guy's depth.
That guy's awesome, yeah. Barry White. Uh, anyway, we do have a bunch of news. Thank you guys for coming in here again. But I think we should probably get over to it because we got a few things to cover. So let's get to doing what we do, man. So let me share this up here, and the first news piece I'll cover actually because this is from Samuli Olki, our Finnish friend, and he does put a lot of news up on the FanSpeak page on Facebook, which we appreciate. And occasionally he'll put something up that Dinale doesn't cover. You guys know Dinale's in charge of the news stuff, but I thought this was an interesting one and a fun way to start off too. A very lighthearted one, and boom, there it is. Eddie Redmayne wants to play the Batman's Riddler. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah. I mean, he's perfect, dude. He's
Mm.
I think he'd be perfect for it. And that's not much an article. And once again, a lot of the stuff we see isn't much of an article at all. But just the concept, I think, is worth conversating about. His Fantastic Beast is not a good flick. It's not a good series, but it's not his fault. The real problem with the original Fantastic Beast was because they tried to tell two stories at the same time, and they failed miserably at it. But I thought did a good job, and he's a good actor. But I don't know why, but he just seems absolutely perfect to play Nigma. Any thoughts?
Because
I
he
like it.
Go ahead.
I'm down. So
Yeah.
he looks all right. You know, better than the Fantastic Beasts, which should have been like a Dumbledore and his, like a rom-com with Dumbledore and his gay buddy.
Yeah, well, that would have been fine. I mean, they just should have chose one of the stories and told it, right? They just screwed the pooch by trying to do two stories. It's difficult. You can do that, but it's difficult, and they failed. But I mean, I have a picture of Enigma up here on the screen right now.
And he
But
looks just like him. He's a spitting image.
and he's a good actor too. He's very
Well,
quirky
what
guy.
did he win the Oscar for? Playing Stephen Hawking? Come on, I can sit in a chair and let a robot talk for me. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, he was playing Hawking before he was wheelchair bound.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
a bit more complex, I
A little
guess.
bit,
And also, he was terrible in Jupiter Ascending. That's probably a fault of everyone involved in that movie. But did you see him in Jupiter Ascending? It's hilarious.
yeah. It's
He is
pretty bad.
hilariously bad in that movie.
Yeah,
But my second choice
talks-
for Riddler.
He
My-
talks so weird and slow in that film.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
And I'm
It's
sure
so
that
funny.
was the direction that was given to him for
Yeah.
that.
Well, let's hear Booster's other suggestion for the Riddler.
Sure.
My second choice for the Riddler, I'm sure everyone else would agree, is David Tennant. After seeing him as the Purple Man in Jessica Jones, I
yeah.
never would have
Oh,
thought
yeah.
so earlier, but after seeing him play the Purple Man, absolutely, I would love to see him as the Riddler.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a solid actor too, though, dude. But
mhm.
yeah, the whole Jupiter Ascending thing, we could do a whole show or two on that movie. An absolute failures left and right. But the where they failed from the beginning, the very very inception of failure was with putting that Kunis girl in the movie. Because that girl
Yeah,
sucks bad, dude. She's a horrible actress, horrible,
yeah.
and she's bug-eyed, and oh my god, dude. I mean, it's like the girl who was in the Aladdin, right? It sounds like she did a good job and she did her singing and, good for her. But she looked like a maid. She didn't look like a princess. You got to cast people, properly. And then we see a lot of trouble with casting. And Eddie Redmayne was horribly cast in Jupiter Ascending. I agree.
Well, talking about that, I was watching To Catch a Thief with Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, and she definitely was a princess
Oh, yeah.
at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
No, she's Grace Kelly was the perfect ice queen. That was her thing, So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no,
So-
Yeah, that's true. But once again, good casting because you didn't see her in a film that wasn't appropriate for her to be in, and that's
Exactly.
something that Hollywood has lost. I think the casting has been really bad, and I can hear the joke coming from Booster already, so I'll cut to the chase. Casting couch aside, Booster, casting has become an issue in Hollywood, dude. Yeah.
How do you think I would catch such a low hanging fruit?
You would.
Dude,
Don't
oh,
deny it.
you are low hanging fruit.
Do you think me so foul?
Yes,
He's low hanging kiwi fruit.
he is, and that's a ground fruit even. Uh-oh.
I created life.
Here we go. All right, moving on. But thank you very much,
On.
Samali, for putting that in there. And once again, I encourage you guys to go over and be part of the FanSpeak group on Facebook. I know a lot of people say, Facebook's dead. It's not worth this or that," and that might well be true. But the group thing on Facebook is great, and we have a great little FanSpeak group. And I'd love for you guys to be part of it. Share your news, share your reviews, sell stuff. We have no problem. We know a lot of groups do, but we don't block any of it. You guys go talk about whatever you want over there. It's fan speak. Have at it, right?
Yeah.
I might block some of it. You guys get a little out of hand. I
Well,
might just come in there and boop off
yeah,
you.
but you're just petty though. It's a
I'm
little,
no fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
no
am.
fun
I'm
at all.
a little man. Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
naughty.
But I see Eric Hawkins in here. Says, Chester, my hero. Well, thank you, Eric. That's very nice.
There goes my hero.
God damn it. Dinale.
All right. So this is from comicbook.com, the site that Chester loathes to go to every time we do this.
Frickin'
And the
CBS.
headlines is New Warrior TV show has been canceled as pilot fails to find a new home. Basically, I forgot what channel it was, Freeform, that basically passed on the New Mutant. It was supposed to be the companion series to the Runaways.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I guess it was so bad that they passed on it, and they kept looking for another network, and all the other networks didn't want it. So basically, it's been canceled even before the pilot aired.
Now,
Oh
now
boy.
I do know, even though this site sucks, pictures don't load,
Yeah.
everything doesn't load, it's an absolute crap site. But I do believe that the New Warriors was actually an animated series, right?
I believe so.
I'm
I
pretty
mean, we
sure.
talked about it because we said that Squirrel Girl was too attractive, and
She was
we
cuter.
felt
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
she was cuter, and that it was likely to fail because of that. And look at that, it failed. How about that?
Yeah. Well, it is also interesting as they're talking about the talking about the people who are involved and featuring actors such as Milana Ventrub, Callum Worthy, Matthew Moy, Keith David, Kate Carmer, Derek Theller, and Jeremy Tandy. Does anyone recognize any of those names at
Wait, you say
all?
Keith David?
Who?
Keith David?
I did. Yeah.
Uh-huh. He's a great voice actor. I don't really know him much for his acting, but voice actor, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was an animated series, dude.
Yeah.
But it's
Keith
Keith
dead.
David was Goliath.
You know, Keith.
Oh,
Keith,
Keith David.
everybody knows who Keith David.
You should know that, Chester. He was what was his name? He was a guy. How can I not forget? He was in It with Kurt Russell.
It? You mean, huh?
The Thing.
The Thing. Okay, well,
Oh,
that's
The
a little
Thing,
different.
Yeah. Sorry, The Thing. Sorry. I know they're already shouting me in the chat. The Thing with Kurt Russell. It's The Thing. Dinale.
Was he the black dude?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Okay.
And
Goliath from Gargoyles. He's very well known for.
Okay, he's badass. Yeah. Okay. All right.
yeah,
All right.
or the black guy, I hate to say it, from from the Rodney Piper other John Carpenter we watched. The name is escaping me from
They
now.
Live.
They Live, thank you.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do movies over here, Bunny Vision Movie Night, and then they went and killed Rabbit. The bastards.
Yep.
Anybody know
killed
why
the
they
rabbit.
did that?
Legal issues.
I mean, It's a little naughty.
Yeah, but you're not saving it. It's a live streaming thing. I mean, you can't have friends
Mm.
over and watch TV together. I mean, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It was all sorts of petty nonsense. You know how they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there'd
You
probably be
can't
more to
share it.
talk about if CBS's comic book .com didn't suck so much. So I'm moving on. Next. Oh my
Onto
God.
another
Damn it.
CBS website.
Denali.
What is this title?
Why the failed wedding was the best thing ever to happen to Batman.
Tell us.
I'm loving this article. It's going out his way to say, see, Batman couldn't be emo and bring him into another place if it wasn't for the wedding. So everything that's been going on to break down Batman and to find him to be the hero he is, he needed to be broken down. And the failed wedding was the catalyst for this. The genius of Tom King, because everybody hated the wedding
Sure.
thing, and everybody kind of knew in their hearts, deep heart, that it wasn't going to. They were going to do some stupid
You knew they
thing
would.
like this.
Yeah, it's true. But at least we get to
And
see Batman's dick. That was awesome.
Oh, that was Batman Damned, but
yeah.
yeah, at least we got to see that.
Yeah.
Very happy with that. Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
But we
Thank
knew
you, Brian Azzarello, for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But we knew they weren't going to marry him, dude. We knew that. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Just like the one they did over with the X-Men. Which one? What marriage was that they tried to trick us into and canceled? Who was that? Was that Cyclops or who is it they were trying to marry off in the?
Recent Colossus and Kitty Pryde,
Kitty
or
Pryde, right? Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they keep doing
Yeah.
and it's interesting Marvel did it, but we know Dan Didio can't stand it. No families, no kids. They have to be constantly in a dark and horrible place. They can't have any happiness. Dan Didio, wonderful. Yes, Eric, the Bat Dong. Yes, that was a wonderful moment in
the
comic book history.
Batawang. Yes.
The
Yeah,
Batawang. Yes.
where it made national headlines. Batman showed his wang.
You know what's really great about that whole thing as well? In reprints, they censored the wang, so now Batman's dong is a collector's item.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not right.
That's the funniest thing.
Slick, you had something to say, dude?
No, I just thought they needed to make it bigger. That's all.
Oh, okay.
You don't think the Batawang was big enough? I thought it.
No, it's
that's
Batman. Come on.
That's the conundrum, right? If you give him a small one, you're gonna emasculate the man, right? If you give him a big one, it's gonna be like, well, what are you doing? This is like Dick Envy.
He's
What's
not love
happening?
sausage.
You just gotta find that happy medium. And they didn't do it.
But I do know the first time I saw it, I was like, that's kind of small.
First I thought it was more than big enough, okay? Most women would say it was more than enough.
Come on now. We're not talking about you and your kinky.
You don't want Mandingo, but you don't want, Rice Man from,
Sure.
China.
That's true. But Eric Hawkins says, "Hey Chester, they canceled it because Kitty is a Jew." Really? That's interesting. I doubt that's true, but it's all right. And Bullet says, "I want a can of bat spermicide."
What? Baby repellent?
Oh my!
Baticide?
Battercide.
Yeah. Battercide. There we go. It's baby Battercide.
Oh. Baby Batterside. Look what you've walked into, March Air. We're talking about Batman's dick. Welcome.
And his sperm.
And his sperm. Yes, both of them. Yes. And ways to cancel them. Have you seen the size of his car? He's got a little batawang. He is compensating. Yeah, that's probably true. Which means that what does Booster drive? A tank?
Oh no! Moving on. Let's move on.
Next.
Booster drives an Apollo rocket.
There you go.
Oh boy. From comics book news, Daredevil Defender again to be said to be coming to FX and Hulu. Rumors, and you take this a lot of rumors, but they're saying they're they're going to do a soft reboot, cast the same actors, fan favorites. I should clarify, not Danny Rand's character. He's going to be recast.
Oh, what a shame!
It's probably going to be Asian.
He's
He
probably
better
gonna
not
Asian.
be.
Oh, he's probably going to be Asian because
better
everybody
not.
was. They were shouting,
I
"He should be Asian. It makes sense.
no, it
it would
doesn't.
make
No, it
total
doesn't.
sense because he would be in two different worlds.
Yeah,
You know,
it's-
he's
White people
rich."
can't do karate.
yeah. Well, see, the thing is, the whole Iron Man thing is
Luke
about
Cage is going to be a penguin.
maybe.
Wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah. It's
But
gonna be Danny
it's about
DeVito.
well,
I'm Danny Rang.
Danny Rand is supposed to be a fish out of water story, right? That's the whole
Yes.
point, right? So,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
these idiots don't get anything. They don't understand concepts or nuanced thought. They're just these ranting, those little memo things they used to sell in the 80s. You put it on your desk and it had the word of the day or the limerick of the day or something like that. That's what they are. That's what the
Oh,
SJWs are.
I,
They're a
I,
memo
I never liked
note.
those.
On a side tangent, we got Vincent D'Onofrio up there. Did you know he sort of played Thor in Adventures in Babysitting?
He does, dude. You're right. He
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
And you
yeah.
look back on him, you're like, man, he was thin and
He
like
was
buff, and then he got D'Onofrio'd.
Yeah.
Because he was waiting to become the perfect Wilson Fisk.
Dude, he's freaking awesome, Kingpin, dude. Yeah.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
D'Onofrio is good in everything he does, man. I love the actor. But he killed Kingpin.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. And this news right here, I hope so. Please do. And we keep hearing it over and over and over again. And we know that Hulu, of course, is owned by Disney and FX. Is Disney owned
It's owned
that
by
too?
Disney
Yeah,
now.
there you
Yeah.
go. There
Yeah,
you
FX
go.
is owned by Fox, so they owned by Disney.
There you go. But
It's not enough for me to have just the same actors. I want the same writers, the same fight choreographers, same directors, same everything. I want everything that made that show perfect to stay the same.
Yeah, it won't happen, unfortunately. Knowing
Except they need to
Hollywood.
get somebody who plays Danny Rand. Again, he should be white and he should be ripped. So they need to get somebody who's capable at least of learning martial arts, if not a martial artist. The guy they picked was pudgy when they put him in there.
Mhm.
He looked slow and just. No offense to the actor, I'm sure he's fine and
He
capable.
was trying, but it.
But I mean, they kind of
Didn't
tossed
work.
him into the deep end of the pool with cement shoes, and
They
it just
did,
sunk.
and to be fair to him, they hired him like at the last moment. He had no time to train or put himself into shape. He gets a pass from me on that because we don't know what he could have been because of what they did with that. But one thing I am getting off this picture that just makes me laugh. You have Luke Cage with his arm in just the right way so he can show just enough cool bicep, and you have this girl who is a flat ass girl. She is pushing that butt out as far as she can, man. And I just have this. Well, I imagine the camera guy saying, "Okay, more ass. Okay, keep pushing it," because the only thing that's keeping her from seeing this bend is her
Arch that
jacket.
back. Get her some high heeled shoes. Just get that ass pointed out.
Yeah.
It's,
My spine is breaking.
And if they're gonna do that, they need to make like there's a way to accentuate even a flat ass girl if they give her the right pair of jeans.
Yeah.
And
Photoshop?
well, no, you have to get the right cut of jeans. It'll pull everything and kind of encase it.
Or they could just,
Yeah.
liquefy it afterwards.
That's right. Or you add ass pad into your jeans to make your ass look
That's
better.
true. Or
So-
they could have just hired a better actress for the part.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, some people are going to get upset with you for that if they hear it. They're
I
going to go ape shit.
Don't care, dude.
Who?
I like this
People that
actress.
don't care about.
I like this actress,
Mhm.
but she was an absolute miscast.
She's
For
actually a very funny girl. She's in a show called The Bitch on Apartment 23.
she's in a bunch of
Which
stuff,
is-
dude. She's in
Yeah,
Penny
she's very
Dreadful
funny
too.
in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was canceled after a while.
it was. But no,
Yeah.
she's a horrible miscasting in that case. Because the only thing that it was even slightly interesting about Jessica Jones was frickin' David Tennant's Purple Man, and
Man,
he
I could
killed
watch that season.
Yeah.
That's what I was able to watch. I was having joy every time he was on
As soon as
scene.
he was missing, it was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's
It's
true.
like, can you hurry up? Can you hurry back to David Tennant. Oh, okay.
Revive
great.
him or something if you must. I don't care. Put him in the freaking Lazarus pit. Drag him to
Yeah.
DC, throw him in the Lazarus pit,
That's
bring him
right.
back.
That's right. Zach, you were trying to say something, dude?
Oh no. I was just complimenting on ways to make her butt better, but that was it.
I see. Well, I do have a comment in here from the chat that there's no way I can let it go by. I have to respond,
All right.
and
All right.
it shows how absolutely old and ancient he is. Eric Hawkins says, "What is your major malfunction, Private Pile?"
Ouch. Ouch.
You
Deep
know,
cuts.
I actually met Jim Neighbors, dude.
No?
Oh, really?
And oh yeah, and he is. It's so weird because and I'm going to destroy people's memories, but he is the most flamboyant gay dude actor type I've ever seen. Because those actor types, they're usually pretty good about holding that in, keeping it tight, especially from that age. But I was working in Hawaii. And I was in between jobs, so I was working for a vacuum cleaner company installing, vacuum cleaning systems into the home, the ones they build into the actual
Mm-hmm.
wallboard type of thing. And I put the vacuum cleaner system into Jim Neighbors' home. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely
That's.
flamboyant. I was shocked how flamboyant he was.
Mm.
I don't know. He seemed, in retrospect, he seems fairly gay, and most of the stuff he did on Andy Griffith's show and in Gomer Pyle. So
Yeah.
um,
Well,
yeah.
and his I don't know what you call it, his houseboy. Booster would have liked him. It was pretty boy. He had a houseboy.
What are you implying, sir?
Mhm. Is it Ezra level is the question.
No, Ezra
Mhm.
level, dude. Yeah, no,
I
seriously. Yeah,
I
I was
wish they'd made
surprised.
who's the guy who plays Luke Cage? I like him as
I
Luke
do
Cage. I
too.
just wish they'd let him loose a little bit more, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just, you didn't see enough, badassery out of Luke Cage.
He's the spitting image, right?
Yeah.
He's the
Mike
absolute
Holder.
spitting
There
image.
you go.
It's just he needed to be more. How do we say it without being racist?
No, just a badass. Like, you just
Yeah,
straight up
Yeah,
a
be more
badass.
badass.
'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's kind of soft and a titty bear, isn't he? Which
He
is
needed
not
to
Luke
be.
Cage.
He needed to be a Paul Creed, basically.
Or who
Oh yeah.
would have been
Or
another really good
fucking,
choice,
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nah. No.
Well,
No.
the
Less
guy from
chat.
Marvel, Shield, whatever it's called, Marvel Shield, the Shield TV show. That big
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
buff black guy that's on the Shield team. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that guy would be a perfect Luke Cage. He's got that
Mhm.
Yeah.
feel, and he's huge, right? You know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Agents
What's
of
his
Shield
name?
show. I don't know, but that dude would have been perfect, man. But they used him
Yeah.
on something else.
He became director after. Spoiler: they killed off the main character because why not?
I guess, yeah. I like the actor though.
Have you,
He's
have you ever
Henry
seen
Simmons. There. That's
You ever
that.
seen Kevin Grivio? He's the guy who wrote, like, was part of writing Underworld. He played, what's his name? And he's in the movie, the first Underworld. And he's a big black dude, and he's big and has this kind of voice. I've always thought he should be something.
He's also the writer for that. I know who you talk about, Kevin.
Kevin Grivio, something like that.
Yeah, Kevin Greview.
There you go.
And,
Awesome.
and and he's young enough to play something. He's still a big. Henry Simmons is the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. He's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And for Kevin, he's actually doing voice work. People who's watching Young Justice, he does the Blue Beetle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because he's got this real, like, distinctively gravelly, like, super deep voice.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna murder you without even trying, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Eric Hawkins said that Vincent D'Onofrio was Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket. In a way, he was, dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he might have even been called Pile, was he? Or no, he just called him Pile, just to mock him. That's right. Yeah, that's a great movie. That's my dad. Growing up with my dad, he didn't watch a lot of war movies because my dad's like a professional soldier, I guess. But he really wouldn't watch that one because it's interesting. That company that is being that small group we're following is part of, especially when
Hmm.
they went into the city of Way, I think it's called. My dad was actually part of that company, that whole little story of them going into the city. He was part of that group, actually. Not that one of the actors is representing it. It's not what I mean. That bigger group company, whatever the company is called, or the Marine Corps section is called. But that was kind of interesting. But yeah, my dad would never watch those war movies, not even the old ones. But
Well,
Well,
a lot of guys who there didn't want to relive it. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose.
my grandfather got shot up on the beaches of Normandy.
Yeah.
He was in traction for like 9 months. I never heard him once talk about the war.
Yeah, those soldiers don't, man. I mean, my dad was literally, a soldier for a long time, and the one thing he said to me about that, because he didn't talk about it much, but one of the few things he said to me was this: "There's no glory in war."
Yeah.
Very interesting comment from an actual soldier, right? But anyway, we've gotten way off of that.
Yeah.
Please, please is what I'm saying. Please,
Yeah.
please, more Daredevil, please. No more
Yes.
Punisher.
Mm.
No more the flat ass girl. We don't need this guy. Luke Cage. I don't know, man.
They
Anyway,
No,
could. They
yeah,
could.
but
If they let him loose and be more Luke
and they
Cage.
shouldn't have killed off Cottonmouth so early.
no,
That was a
that was a
mistake.
huge
Yeah.
mistake, dude. Yeah, yeah.
Well, they can
Mm.
always revive him. Nobody truly dies in
We're doing the
Marvel.
whole Lazarus Pit thing again. God, I do
Yeah.
hope, I hope that AT&T does sell DC so that Disney can buy it and we can fix some of these problems. Go ahead, Dinelli.
Mm-hmm.
So, from Variety, Paramount and Adobe launch Terminator Dark Fate trailer remix context. So, basically, because the response for Terminator has been so underwhelming and the box office prediction is that they're going to be flopping, they're trying to build up interest by say, we're going to pay you to make an awesome trailer that will hype people up, and we'll give you $10,000 and 50 of your friends can come and see the private screening if you win, because all our trailer is actually pushing people away. How about that?
So you're telling me that Paramount is actually going to hire people cheap to do their trailer better?
Yes.
Man, that's lame, dude.
Yeah.
Ah.
Basically, basically the whole contest is basically do our trailer better so we can fool people into buying tickets to watch our movie that's really bad, that even our trailer can't save.
Yeah, it does look really bad. It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't even necessarily mind the whole get woke thing if it's done well, but it looks really horrible. Eric Hawkins says, my dad never told me much about Korea, but after he came home from Japan, he had the yellow fever. So are you telling us that you're half Asian? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that the point, Eric? I don't know. Bullet says, where is my Daughters of the Dragon TV series? Uh, what is he on about?
He's talking about Misty Knight and Colleen team up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
It was supposed to happen before the whole cancellation.
I see. Do they get naked?
not
Well,
not
now
under
that
Disney
I
anymore.
don't think
not
so.
under Disney.
Damn
Why
it.
did they
Wow.
do that? They can do all kinds of that stuff under like Touchstone. Come on.
Misty Knight
What's wrong
had
with Disney?
fantastic bobs.
I like the Asian chick. What's her name?
Well, of course you do. And I wasn't saying Misty Knight was the hottest thing in the world. Just nice bobs. I would put her bobs on
Okay.
Asian Girl. We have a great specimen.
Hey, we have
Yeah.
bigger ones here. There's a couple now.
A couple
A couple.
and 100 million
yeah,
people.
the Asian.
You wouldn't
is
believe
just
how
the
big Asian
hen whip.
tits get. Almost double C's.
Over a billion, Slick. No, I live in flat world for sure. Yeah, it is.
Oi.
But I married one that's slightly on the larger side. I hope she's not listening because I will definitely get something thrown at me. She said,
No.
"Did you ever talk about me on your show?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yeah. Eric says, no, but he couldn't watch a movie with Japanese women in it without my mom giving him dirty looks. Oh goodness. Well, it says Colleen Wing. Yeah, no, she's all right. She's all right. Yeah, she's pretty. Denali, what is this crap? Oh, we already talked about it. Damn it! I want to get out of
Yes.
here. I don't want this. It's
Let's move
bothering
on.
me. I don't know what this Crypt
Yes.
Keeper is going to do with me. The Crypt Keeper has a gun. It's not good. It's a bad thing.
She's just exercising her Second Amendment right, like all Democrats.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Have gun will carry. Anyway, that's boring. Let's move on.
Yes. All right. So now trending, Lois Lane is the White House reporter in the new DC comic book
God.
Enemy of the People, where she gets kicked out of the White House press room for pushing against the secretary.
You canceled Trump.
Oh, and all
God.
I'm thinking is like, so you're comparing Lois Lane to the reporters that got themselves kicked out.
Yeah. No.
But I don't know. I don't know how to take that.
Let me see if
To
I
be
can
honest with you.
understand what they're on about here. Hold on a second.
Sure.
In the
Go
series
ahead. Go ahead.
Enemy of the People, the character reprises her role as a hard-charging reporter from the Daily Planet. Well, she already is that. Her newspaper is in the DC universe. This time around, Lane is covering the White House, where she gets into a combative exchange with a White House press secretary, is ejected from the briefing room, and has her press pass revoked. Oh, I see. Okay, I get it now. I get
Yeah.
they're talking about
Yeah.
that incident, but
Yeah.
yeah, well, that person deserved to get kicked out. I mean, you can't be going doing that crap. Let's see. I don't think you can tell an honest story about Lois if you're not reflecting the state of journalism and hostility toward journalism in the world today. Oh, now, hold on a second.
Hostility towards journalism.
Who is this moron? John Levine. Let me see if I can find Levine.
We're about to show you some hostility, John
yeah,
Levine.
John Levine.
We'll show you journalistic hostility, boy.
Let me see here. Can I get a picture of the John? Because I have a feeling I know exactly what it looks like. I don't see here. Whatever. There's
You
so
mean like
many
a poster?
Levines. You throw a stone, you're gonna hit one or two. But was that a racist joke? I think it was. But anyway, you idiot!
There's no throw stoning here, so
That's true. But they keep saying this crap over and over and over. Journalism not only is not under attack, it is the hostility. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But whatever. I don't really care. I guess that's kind of way old news. I mean, it's really old news. Matter of fact, it's older news than a comic cycle is. Right? I mean, what is the comic cycle here, Todd? Can you tell us exactly the cycle of months it takes for a comic to start and be finished, please?
yeah, sure.
Todd's been gone for like half an hour.
Damn it, Todd! All right, Zach, you're up. You gotta be Todd Jr.
Be Todd. Do a Todd impression.
No. I'm no Todd. I'm no Todd. Booster would know better. Booster would actually know better because he collected comics in that sort of way. I never did collect comics that way. So
what do we talk about? Comic? Lois Lane? I don't.
No, he's talking about the news cycle of how long it takes for such a comic to come out. Usually, if it's coming out monthly, it would be like a monthly comic, but this is a mini series, so of course it's taking longer because it takes people 2 years to write a script and et cetera, et cetera.
Is that's what my question is? Yeah, because I'd heard some people say like 6 months or something like that from beginning to end, but whatever it is, this story was more than a year ago, right?
I mean, depending which incident, because there was 2 times that reporters were kicked out of the White House. One from CNN and the other one from, I can't remember, Penthouse? I don't know. I got to look at that up. I just look at it, I'm like saying, yep, this is the state of our democracy right now when when they have to do a court order to bring back a person in.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go around pushing on people and stuff like that, you should be kicked out. If you're just screaming and yelling, well, that's freedom of the press and all those kind of things. But well,
Right.
whatever. It's just going to be more lame silliness. No one's going to care. It's not going to do well. I mean, in all honesty, who the hell wants a Lois Lane comic anyway? She's Superman's girl. Finished.
Is she?
I mean,
Is she the
there
way
was
they're going?
there actually was a Lois Lane comic back in the Silver Age, and the entire premise of it was just Lois Lane trying to trick Superman into marrying her.
Yes, it was. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely
She
ridiculous.
succeeded, apparently.
But she did, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Yay, look at me, I'm doing something that's current. Yay. Star Wars news. Go ahead.
All right, so
Oh.
this is from Comics Book News. Star Wars Galaxy Edge is still dead. Rise of the Resistance, a huge disaster. And both parks are hitting record low attendance to the fact that they're giving discount mid-day passes. And one of the top travel and fun package agency are saying, look, they have basically priced out a lot of people if they're doing a lot of all of these discounts, and people are still not coming at all about this. They, trying to squeeze the blood out of these rocks. The rocks saying, no, thank you. We're not going to come in anymore to the park. And they're going wild. And this is where we talked about again that, the bean counters are going to come and say, this sucks and we can't pay for this. So either you figure out how to make this better, or you need to shut this part off and, rebuild it or something.
Well,
because massive layoffs for cast members and a lot of other things going to be are in the pipeline.
And we've been reporting on that quite a bit, actually. I do have a question for you, though, Dinale. I know all about the Galaxy's Edge, and we've talked about that extensively, and it's sad, really. But
Right.
I don't understand, what is this Rise of the Resistance thing? They said they use the word
That's-
add-on. What is this?
That is one of the two rides that was supposed to be in a theme park. The other one is the Millennium Falcon, and then the Rise of the Resistance, the other one that wasn't open in Hollywood. And it's not open in Orlando, but it will be open in January, February. But what they're saying is the ride sucks. It's like Jaws at the beginning, where it doesn't work at all. Everything they're trying to do does not work. And it looks like they're going to have to be delaying this thing.
I get you. Okay. Well, I know, like in the Millennium Falcon, all you do is just sit in the thing and they play like a video, right? I mean, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of lame. It's like, what happened to the creators who gave us, who gave us Space Mountain and was it Thunder Mountain? What was that really cool one? That was fun. There's a lot of good rides, man.
Yeah. What happened was basically they put all their eggs in a basket and they said, this is good enough because Star Wars is a brand that people will just buy, out of the wazoo because it's a way of life. We talked about this before. And their greed, which Bob Iger said, it's Star Wars. I just have to tweet it out and people will just come in mass dove for it. And they're realizing, no, you broke the illusion of it being a way of life that people don't care is no longer Star Wars. Talking about Star Wars, because I didn't put this article up, we've been talking about, there's been a lot of news about the reshoots that's been happening recently. And what's interesting about the reshoot is you're not seeing any trailers. This is supposed to be the ramp up moment of all these trailers, when they're supposed to be advertising for December. We have October, November, December, 3 months. We're 3 months away from the show for the movie to come out, and we only have one trailer that has a little bit of footage with 2 minutes of it being the old stuff. And we're saying all these massive reshoot. What I've been hearing is that Disney has hired every CGI company in the business to be working on the Rise of Skywalker, because J.J. Abrams is basically redoing the whole film, because the first leak that came out that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamer did way back when was completely true.
And
That was the
what was
movie.
that leak? What was that leak?
That leak was that Rey was the granddaughter of Palpatine. That the Lando is just there to be a MacGuffin. That um, that she'll end up taking the name of Skywalker at the Lars and making a golden blade just to do so. But there was more stuff happening. But if you look at the original posts of that leak, and it's in the internet, it's archived, whatever, or goes to that first leak from Geeks and Gamer, basically point by point, where they're doing a MacGuffin, where they're going to different places to, stop Palpatine from rising, because apparently he was controlling Snoke and he was building an armada, and there's no whatever. All of that spoiler were true, and because it got leaked, J.J. Abrams had to reshoot the whole film
Jesus.
and re-edit it, and
Um,
that's what they're doing right now. They don't have the principal cast members because their contracts are up,
uh,
but they're doing the CGI and they're making a Frankenstein movie. So if you thought
wow.
the Rise of the Skywalker is going to be bad, I don't know, you haven't seen nothing yet, kid.
Now I know Slick has something to say. I'm going to come to him in a
Yeah.
second, but there are a couple of points that with that I've seen recently that just kind of we've been saying this all along.
Hmm.
J.J. Abrams is a hack. He cannot finish a damn story. We know this. And then on top of it, I've heard the rumor that they're actually testing 6 different endings for their movie. Right now, if that's what you're doing, then that means you didn't have a story from the beginning. And this is the problem we've been seeing across the board in so many movies. These are things built by committee, and they're there to try to get the best demographic they can possibly get, instead of saying, here's a great screenplay, go tell this story. And that's what we're
Right.
getting, right? They literally have no clue of the story they're telling, because you can't come and tell me that you have 6 endings you're working on and try to convince me that there's any kind of cohesion at all. It's
Right.
insanity, dude.
And
I can hear you biting at the bit, Slick. Go ahead, man.
So, here's the thing with Hollywood right now. They're looking for a magic formula that will print money. They don't want to take any risks because, you take these risks and you make $100 million blunders, right, or more. And so they want to find, like with the music industry, how notice how all the music sounds the same. It's like two
Oh
people are
yeah,
making all the songs
because
in the
they
entire
are.
world, the entire pop system. They're making these. It's a magic formula, and apparently people are gobbling it up like pablum. Well, the movie industry wants the same thing. They know that they're not the main purveyor of entertainment anymore. That would be video games, which far outweighs how much um, the movies make, and so they want to have this. Problem is, they want to do it in such a way that they throw out the the um, the fundamentals of storytelling, and we're seeing that now. JJ comes up with his mystery box bullshit. All right, now
Hmm.
the mystery box is fine, but you want to set things up so that you can move along from the first act to the second act to the third act. And with a trilogy, each one of those has to have a first, second, third within them. I'm not trying to be pedantic to the audience who probably knows all this. However, JJ did set some stuff up, although I was not happy with The Force Awakens because I saw problems in the beginning, but a lot of people liked it. It seemed to harken back a little too much to the
was
first film,
passable.
but it was passable. It was fun to watch, had a lot of good moments and that thing. But and he set stuff up. Now, what I don't understand is how Kathleen Kennedy could be such a nonce, a complete idiot, as to not have something set up, a storyboarding of all three of these, trilogy films. So they hook together, okay, and when she hands them off to her directors, whether they be auteurs or not, they have a structure to hang things on. And she didn't do that. It's all on her fault. Ryan Johnson obviously, just did whatever he wanted. He looked at J.J. Abrams' setups and just discarded them entirely. Some out of just, like the
Right.
Knights of Ren. What happened to them? They never even mentioned them. And
Spite.
so now you got JJ coming back. Maybe that was it. I don't know what it was that caused him to be such an asshole about putting together the next film, but he did, and then left a wasteland to try to figure out for a third film. I mean, he obviously wasn't thinking about the next film, how it connected together, and I don't think he
Yeah.
really cared.
No, he
And
admitted as such, to be
right.
honest.
And now
Yeah.
you have J.J. Abrams, who isn't a closer. We all know this. He's not good at it. Coming in trying to stitch up the, posthumous bleeding wounds that is left by Johnson for the fulfillment of this arc. And nobody else even know who it's about anymore. Is it about Skywalker's? Is it Palpatine's arc? Because it comes back to Palpatine. It's going to be his story from beginning to end now, because and just the Skywalkers are just part of his story. That's how I view it. If you bring him back in this very last little bit,
Yeah.
and like we guys are talking about, if you have reshoots and all this stuff, something is clearly wrong, because you're going into your focus groups and people are trying to figure out, and they're looking online, and they're scouring online to figure out what people are saying, because things, the ball has been dropped. The golden goose is now laying lead eggs. It's they're terrified, because you're going to have one entire division, this huge franchise, just be a colossal, they say they made their money back. No, they haven't.
No.
They've spent and spent and spent and spent, and until they hit in the business, until you've made at least 3 times the money that you paid out, you have not made your money back, and they haven't done that.
No.
So there's my
Well,
rant.
it is pretty impressive though, Slick. They have taken the greatest IP on the planet and smashed it underfoot. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah, it's like
impressive,
taking
dude.
a Ming
Right.
vase and just playing
Right.
catch with it, and then somebody just drops it.
Yeah. And to add to Slick Jimmy's rant, because this is dear to my heart, this is what kind of brought me over here to this community, is that Kathleen Kennedy is an executive producer. She's a line producer. She was brought in because of her connections to Hollywood, to people, because she can make the connections to those, get that talent and everything. That's what she was. She was not the creative force. She was the pencil pusher that knew people to get it. And one of her statements that we should have realized at the beginning when she was talking with George Lucas is that she was interested in making tentpole movies. And that should have been our red flag for Star Wars, because tentpole movies in that terminology is Hollywood speak for big mindless blockbusters. She was thinking the one-offs, movies.
Lucas and Spielberg did vouch for her. And maybe that was Lucas giving Disney an FU. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
You've definitely hit on it. Kathleen Kennedy is George Lucas's sweet revenge, dude. That's what it is. He was so put out by how the fans really did not like his prequels. He was really hurt by it. And she is his response. And I'm sure he was chuckling to himself when he put her in, because he knew what she was going to do, dude. He knew it. I mean, this woman came up and said that, it's really time that Star Wars be for women. It's something that we need to work on. We have to make Star Wars for women. Well, the whole reason that Disney bought Star Wars was so they could have a juxtaposition versus the princess movies for the boys. But yet that's what she did. And that was her whole motivation.
Well, I mean, like,
and he knew it, dude.
I think that was the same thing with Marvel and Star Wars. And then like her to change it, and they're doing it, and they're doing it also in Marvel. So, it's
Yeah.
not the boys' time right now, I guess.
No.
But I hear a lot of people spouting the virtues of the prequels right now, and I was
No.
one of those guys who was railing on the prequels back
Yeah.
in the day because of how I'm a writer. I've always been able to write, and I saw like the bones were there, which was why it's so frustrating.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues. I think he needed to rewrite and redefine the stories before putting in films. He was too distracted.
Right. And he
What the
should have
prequel?
shelled out for really good writers, two of them.
Yeah,
Like get to bounce stuff off of each other, just two of them, and then he would work with the like he would come and say, "What do you got?" That's what he should have done. But it was his baby, and he didn't want to do it. And then he should have focused on what he's good at, concepts and visuals. That's what George is good at. He's
Yeah.
not good at story, and he never has been. He's definitely not a good writer. And if he thinks he is, then somebody's been yes-menning him for 30, 40 years.
Which they have.
Yeah, which they have. Remember, until the prequel, everyone was calling him a genius and praise and everything, not remembering the revisionist history that
his wife made A New Hope what it was.
Exactly.
Right?
And
his ex-wife.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at. That he had his friends. He was saying, "Hey, is this working? Is this not working?" He was bouncing off ideas from Spielberg. He was bouncing off from De Palma and some other great directors.
Yeah, De Palma and the guy who did Apocalypse Now. And
Scorsese.
No,
not Scorsese.
Yeah, the guy who did the Godfather films.
Yeah,
Coppola.
Yeah, Coppola.
Yeah, I mean, that new school, like a lot of those guys knew each other, and he was bouncing it off them. And I mean, there's a story about them bringing him his cut of the film, and them just going, they're his friend. What are they going to do? This sucks, George. You need to fix it.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah, and what was funny is that he showed the same cut to the executive, and they were loving it.
Well, it's a good thing his wife was there, who made the film what it was, and she was there for pretty much all of the first original films.
Right.
And there was this kind of spirituality to the storytelling, and then he becomes kind of an atheist and gets off, and that's one of the reasons why Indiana Jones 4 is not in the same kind of vein as the other Indiana Jones films, because of his beliefs now, and that got shoved into the metachlorian things. That's where it comes. Not just saying the Force is this power out there that can be manipulated by people who can sense it. He had to change it. He had to quantify it. It just got weird. And then, but the bones of that story, the arc of Anakin was there. Just you had to tweak it a little bit better. Things like him pandering to children by making the Anakin so young, it just didn't work. And poor Jake Lloyd, that guy has been raked over the coals for years because he was miscast and then given really bad dialogue for one thing.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Zach, you've been drawing along here the whole time, which is awesome, by the way. Do you have any comments you'd like to add?
Well,
we went off on our rants.
Well, it's just I don't have any interest in Star Wars, and it's heartbreaking to see what it's become, having just like Star Wars engulfed my whole entire childhood and through middle school and high school and stuff like that. And we had friends that we were just friends because we all love Star Wars and stuff like that. And then this started coming out, and literally just lost touch with friends because we stopped liking Star Wars because of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of like this heartbreaking thing that was like this renaissance coming to an end.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking for those who loved it.
I just read that poor Jake Lloyd was actually arrested back in 2015 for reckless driving without a license, and resisting arrest. And after serving a 10-month jail sentence, was transferred to jail to a psychiatric facility after he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Yep.
Damn.
Broken child actors. We covered him on a TFT.
He was only in like 3 or 4 shows and movies. He didn't even do much.
Well, I'm
glad.
No,
it was Star Wars that broke him.
Yeah, I'm glad,
Yeah, this
Booster,
will
that you
destroy
stopped
him.
looking at your back Wayne comic and came back here.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you.
Oh,
Um,
you guys were mumbling about bloody Star Wars. You won't admit that it's just been dead for decades now.
it has. No, you're right. It is because the
Not now.
prequels.
Like here's the thing. Like it didn't
And
have to
it's
be.
not
If they hadn't
coming
thrown
back.
if they hadn't thrown the
It's
expanded
never
universe
going to
out the
be good
door,
again.
out,
Never.
out in the garbage, then they probably could have built something. But like the suits there at Disney are just obtuse. They don't get that the built-in fan base is what they want to keep, not drive away. They're just idiots.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's not a new thing to say about like Hollywood suits from
no, it's
Right.
studio
not.
suits.
And
But
and we don't
this,
want to.
this
We don't want.
but the moment that this movie fails, and it will fail, because let me ask you a question: how many people, besides talking negatively about the movie, are talking positively that they're going to watch it when it first comes out? How many
Nobody.
kids?
well, I mean, it's going to
Yeah,
make some money.
Of
think
I
it's
course.
think
gonna.
it'll make some money.
but
I
it's not
think
going to
it,
make $1 billion.
I think it will.
Well, maybe worldwide, because there's a lot of people. I mean, I'm not one of those people that it's not going to even cross 200 million. It's
No,
going to
no, no,
make
no,
its money,
no.
but
I'm saying total run.
but
I don't
it's
think
not
it's
going to
going
be
to.
something like it's not going to do the hit 3 billion. I think that these movies could have easily been like these continuous 2 billion, 3 billion as they built and people watched it over and over and over, and then they did fun things if they had just done things right. And
Right.
then they built things like Marvel did for the first few phases, and kept the EU, like introduced characters like Mara Jade, and the twins, and that sort of thing, and built on stuff. Heck, and if they could have gotten even a little more adult and done Creighton, one of my favorite characters, Darth Talon, because she's sexy as hell, but those are the things they could have done, but they just didn't see it that way. They didn't see it with a creator's eye. They saw it with an accountant's eye,
Yeah.
with their
Well,
bean counters.
Well, do keep in mind that that isn't guaranteed that they're going to make that kind of money at all because they haven't. Because
No,
China doesn't have any love for Star Wars at all, actually. And Mr.
well,
Thondero says Disney knew what they were doing. All of this was planned. All of it is intentional. Disney has an agenda they've had for a long time and they will not stop pushing it. Yes, we know that, and I think that suggestion that came out about that Marvel Comics was just using the platform to introduce these broken SJW type of characters, knowing it's not going to make money, but in the long term they can use it for marketing, saying, "Look, we have Riri Williams has been around for this many years," and da 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 da. I think it's a fair point, Thundero. Yeah,
Right.
well, I
But
think
here's the
I think
thing.
Kevin Feige loved it at first, but I think he's sold out now.
maybe.
No, we got to remember that these movies do have their ardent defenders, right? Like, I
Mhm.
know that there's a massive backlash from the original fans and everything, but we can't deny these movies have still got some massive following and hype and backers.
Well, The Last Jedi
Right.
I would disagree with. Force Awakens, yes, for sure. Rogue
Yeah.
One, yes. But Solo and The Last Jedi, no. I don't hear anyone praising it or standing up for them at all, dude. Force
The
Awakens, I
Last Jedi
agree.
has its defenders. We call them idiots, but it does have its defenders.
Well, I saw the crying boy when he saw the Ray trailer. Is that who you talk about? That type?
Look, I'm jealous of that guy. Okay, he can still feel things.
I think it's all fake. I think he was faking it.
He probably
I
was.
do.
If he was faking that, give that man an Oscar.
Well,
I know.
anyway, we don't want to get
Yeah.
we don't want to go too much longer. We got to have to wrap this up because I do need to get into
Yeah.
get into town. But nevertheless, there is one comment here I've been holding off reading for quite a while.
Sure.
Bullet says 2 Cyberfrog updates in the last 2 days. Well, you're suggesting, Bullet, that we have any influence at all.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
Interesting. Which we don't. We're nobody.
Or do we?
Or
No, we
do
don't.
we?
Mm,
No, we
mhm.
don't. No.
Or do we?
Yeah. That would be surprising if he did come out with a couple quick things and to respond to us. Because here's the interesting thing: normally, when people say what we said, they get blocked. They get certain peoples who we all know coming out and railing against them and protesting and such. We have had nothing but praise. I have not seen a single negative comment actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, because I assumed we'd get attacked by the standard folks, but we didn't. It is interesting. It is
They're
interesting.
scared of your manly voice, man. That's what it is.
Well,
Mhm.
I am the ear
Yeah.
terror, so there you go. But
Mm,
I should have never told that
yeah.
story, dude. But anyway, Zach, thank you very much for entertaining us with your great art, dude. You're awesome. Thanks for coming on, Slick. Now, do keep in mind you come back and see more of. Well, those are ugly ass thumbs, Zach. It's pretty bad.
I'm trying to get a thumbs up in the correct angle. There you go.
It's
Oh
horrible,
boy.
horrible,
And
ugly
give
thumbs.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Good on
Oh
you,
boy.
brother.
That's not
Now
a thumb.
it's not a thumb, but dude, we do got to jump, guys, because I got to go to work.
Yeah.
But do keep in mind that tomorrow we have at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bugbear's Basement, which will be continuing the adventures on the Moonshay Isle, and of course, Slick and Zach will be back for that. They are playing in that, and I do need to talk to you guys. There's another person asking if they could get into the game, so we'll have to have that conversation. But it's going to be interesting because last we left them, they narrowly escaped with Slick nearly dead from trying to save the hostages, and they've met up back up with the army. So, what will happen? I wonder. And how long can they possibly survive? I'm kind of feeling a TPK is coming, dude. I feel it.
Don't,
Mhm.
please.
So, but anyway, guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for listening. Thank you guys on the panel. That was a lot of fun. We always enjoy chatting about the silliness of the world today. But thank you, Charlie. You're saying good night. And Denali, I'm pretty sure we're at that time, Denali.
All right.
I think we're
Awesome.
there.
Well, I thought you would just let Zach and Slick, advertise what their projects.
Oh, no, you're right. They
Uh,
should do that. I
yeah.
apologize. Go ahead.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Slick.
I'm the creator of Little Girl Lethal. It is currently on Indiegogo and in demand. My titular character, the Little Girl Lethal, is okay, okay, is Sugar Lightspeed, and she is quite the sexy girl
She's
who likes to do the
titillating
ultra
even.
violent. She's titillating, indeed. And if you like that sort of thing, this is not for children. Just a warning. I have two different versions: the modest and the immodest. The modest, still pretty damn sexy. The immodest is kind of the full Monty. And if you want to go check that out, you can find that pretty easily by looking up at Little Girl Lethal on Indiegogo. And there you go. You can see me. You can come and talk to me on Slick Jimmy Love on the Twitters, and occasionally I make a video on Slick Jimmy Speaks
Slick
on YouTube.
Jimmy Love. Oh, that
Yeah.
is awesome, dude. Zach.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Zach_DB, and I got my project Indiegogo going for World of Golma. And if you like action adventure and a touch of whimsical, you will enjoy this story. So yeah, go check it out.
Rock on. Denali?
Awesome. Well, you can join the newsletter for The Immortal Mask at dinalescomic@gmail.com. Just send an email saying, hey, I want to be on your newsletter, and I will put you on the newsletter. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one. Right, Booster?
Oh, of course. Namaste.
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 Later, guys.
I guess namaste.
Aloha.